How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at Ratchet and Clank. I used to play it back on the PS2. Ratchet Gladiator was probably my favourite game. But yeah, we're going to look at it on the Steam Deck, and surprisingly this is a harder title to run on the Steam Deck. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares to the likes of the Ioneer. And yeah, just other emulation. I was going to say similarly priced, but the Ioneer is like double in price, so I guess it's not really similarly priced. So yeah, we're just going to look at Ratchet and Clank today. All 5 games. I think we've got 1, 2, 3. The one from the PSP and Deadlock, which was like the Gladiator Deadlock, whatever country you're in, it's called something different. But yeah, let's go straight into it. So welcome back. As you can see, we've got our Ratchet and Clank loaded up here. You might notice some like of the artwork is the same and it's wrong. And for some reason my Steam ROM manager has messed up my images and stuff, so it's a little bit confusing at the minute, but we'll start with Ratchet and Clank 1, and then we'll just load straight in so you don't have to look at the box art and be confused. But, as you can see, Ratchet and Clank 1 loading up. The only way I've played Ratchet and Clank 1 is through the remake for PS4 they did a couple of years ago. And I actually really enjoyed it, it was really fun. I know they did it as like a movie tie-in, but I'm pretty sure it was just a full-on remake of Ratchet and Clank 1. Which is awesome, because, you know, I did really enjoy it, so. As you can see, let's see if we have no widescreen mode, sadly. But we got it on 50 Hz, so what we'll do now is go in here. And pair game profile it, and set the refresh rate down to 50. Like I said before, I had a few issues running Ratchet and Clank on my Ioneer device, so I don't know if they've updated the PS2 emulator since, and it's definitely been beneficial for me, but it looks to be pretty good. I mean, I'm guessing this is all in-game. It was mainly Ratchet and Clank 3 that had the problems for me, so once we get there, we'll see if that has any issues, but for now, let's just play some Ratchet and Clank 1. Skip some cutscenes. I know this is probably Clank getting built in his factory. Yeah, it is. I actually really like them Clank missions in the first game. Pretty fun change of pace. Here it is. And we're in.
Welcome to the Gadgetron Help.
First thing I'll notice off the bat is the 8 watt it's taking to run this game, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure this feels right. I don't know if this must be how the game is, but Ratchet just feels extremely like he's like a spaceman. He feels like everything's slowed down. Let me just put it back up to 60. Turn that back off. No, that is just generally how the game is. It must just be a... Like I said, I haven't played this, so I'm not sure what it's supposed to feel like. But yeah, Ratchet feels like a bit slow. A bit like a bit floaty, but... Yeah, I don't know, does that look right to you? Maybe I'm just being funny. But, yeah, we'll play. It's not like I can't play it, it just feels like he's a bit, like, slow. I guess he's on another planet, the gravity must be different over there or something. Yeah, we don't need your help desk message, thanks. Boy. I'm glad you liked my video yesterday. I'm going to do some more Switch comparisons with the Steam Deck soon. I just need to find out what games I actually own, and I own them on the Steam Deck as well, because all my physical games that I owned on the Steam Deck or on the Switch that were the same games I had on Steam, I kind of like sold them off in order to fund some more purchases for my Steam Deck. So yeah, them games we played yesterday, I'd bought them on the Nintendo eShop, so it was easy for me to just be able to load them back up, but... Ow. But yeah, like I said, it was just interesting to see the graphical differences between devices. I mean, both devices have pros and cons for me. Whereas some guys saying that indie games are like perfect on the Switch, and yeah, that's true. 2D indie games anyway, because I did play Inside, and although I know Inside is a very dark game, and it looked great on the OLED, I could just tell it wasn't running at full resolution, and it bugged me. It just was really, it was just blurry. switched over to on the Steam Deck, and it's like £3 on sale at the minute. I know it goes on sale on Switch as well, but just to let you guys know. But yeah, I played it on the Steam Deck shortly after, and although obviously it wasn't like pitch black darkness like the OLED is, it just ran at obviously 60 FPS and at the native resolution. So yeah, I did notice games like Dead Cells and stuff like that all work great on the Switch though, and the battery life is probably going to be better than the Steam Deck, if not a little bit, if not like close to the Switch's battery life, the Steam Deck. So like I say, we'll have a look at some more games on that another day. But for now, we're playing Ratchet and Clank, and to be fair, that is Ratchet and Clank 1. I don't want to play too much of number 1. I want to move on to the next few games, but yeah. As you can see, works great. You'll have to let me know if you notice the slow down a little bit, or if he looks like he's floating a bit. Might just be the PS2 emulation, or it might be a setting I need to change. But to be fair, this is pretty much default settings with just 3 times speed hack set up, and a couple of checkboxes like MTVU threading enabled and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see what Ratchet and Clank 2 is like. And we're back in Ratchet and Clank 2. This one supports 16:9, so just, I know you can do widescreen patches, but for just people who don't want to mess about with doing shit like that, you can literally just go into the settings on the game, swap it over to 16:9, and then you've got native 16:9 widescreen, which is nice. A good addition on Ratchet and Clank 2. I'm intrigued to see what wattage we're going to be using on this one, because the last game was pretty decent. We're running about 8 to 9 watts. Straight off the bat, I've already told you this, but we've got a game profile set. We're literally just running it at 50. I tend to take TDP off at the moment, because I know the Steam Deck's getting better at sticking around what it's going to be using, depending on the area that you're in. So it doesn't really bother me at the minute, but you'll be able to tell the battery life we're getting here as well. So we're looking at about 1 hour and 18 minutes at 30%. As you can see, I know we're not exactly doing anything crazy at the minute, but it does look pretty... Ratchet feels a lot quicker in this one as well. I don't know if you noticed that one, but yeah, he definitely was a little bit slower in the first game. Am I supposed to be on this elevator? Yeah. Oh, we have weapons. Cool. This game looks really good as well at 3 times native, or 2 times native, I think I'm running at, 720p. Wow. This one runs really well. Feels really responsive. Running at 10 watt, which is like really good. I expect some games run at a lot higher wattage on the PS2 emulator than you expect them to. We'll probably see an increase in Ratchet and Clank 3, but yeah, this is looking amazing so far. So this is a continuation in my series of like videos I do every couple of weeks, or where I just look at like a series of a game on the device. I think that's pretty cool, because I know a lot of us are in the era where we have nostalgia for a lot of these older titles. So knowing that the whole collection works on the deck, you can have them all to play whenever you want, is pretty amazing. So I think we're going to look at Sly Cooper next. Wasn't a massive Sly Cooper guy back in the day, but it's because I really didn't play him that much. But yeah, I can appreciate that he has a decent series on the PS2. I know they have a cool one on the last. I think the last Sly Cooper that came out was a thief in time. I mean, that might be butchering the title of that, but yeah, it came out on PS Vita and on PS3, which is pretty cool. I also need to look at some more games on the PS3 emulator. You'll be happy to know that I actually did buy a new memory card for my Steam Deck, so I'm kind of like taking all the games off this one and using this one solely just for a emulation kind of card, and then I'm going to use the other card for my actual AAA titles and just regular Steam games. But this is a 512 gig card, so I mean you can get a lot of emulated games on here. So these flame guys are actually bringing the frame rate down a little bit. You can see the wattage is shot up to 14. If you just get rid of these flame guys, it's gone back up. So yeah, depending on what's going on screen, affects the game. But I definitely still get the PAL versions of these games, just so that we're running at full speed. A drop in frame rate every now and again really doesn't bother me that much. It's still easily playable, and I just died, so yeah. Are you kidding me? Holy shit! You have to start from the beginning of the game. Man, these PS2 games are ruthless with that. Literally like 0 checkpoints throughout the level. Crazy. Anyway, Ratchet and Clank 2. I don't want to bore you playing the whole level again, so we'll just move on to the next. We'll move on to the next one. We're back. Ratchet and Clank 3. Ratchet and Clank, yeah, that's the spin-off. Put it in 16:9, new game. And yeah, like I said, this is probably the hardest one to run, except Deadlock. Deadlock might be harder because it's a newer title, but yeah, we'll see. Pretty much if we can run Ratchet and Clank, then the PS2 emulator is very, very decent on this device. You'd be thinking, why the hell isn't PS2 playable on like every device? Like, because it's such an old console, surely it should be playable. But sadly, I don't know what Sony did with the PS2, but it's ridiculously hard to emulate on some devices for some reason. Same goes with PS3. It's a shame it's not as optimized as the PSP emulator, because that shit is like, PSP emulation is so clean. By the looks of it, it looks like we're doing a lot better than I thought we were going to do. That's awesome. So it looks like we're holding a solid 50 at the minute. Just reminded me to set my pair game profile. Set a 50 refresh rate, all good. Feels super responsive. I mean, latency, not really an issue in this game. Unlike some games, Metal Gear Solid 3. I do need to bring the Substance version over to the deck, because it's a more preferable version. Maybe the latency isn't as prominent in that one. Alright, cool. Right, so we actually have like a big gun here, so should help us test the frame rate out a little bit. Seems to be holding up really well. How's Valve doing with the shipping out of the Steam Decks anyways? A lot more, I'm guessing a lot more people are getting their deck emails now. I'm hoping the rollout speeds up for you guys. I know how much of a nightmare it is waiting for something that's just such a good device. Good on you for not giving in to scalpers too. See a lot of scalpers going on eBay and stuff, but to be fair, scalping prices are going down now. So they're not as ridiculous as they once were, but they're still pretty bad. I mean, I'm seeing like a 64 gig model for like £600. So what's that, like 150 over retail or like 200 over retail? So not as stupid as it was before, but you know, still not retail. And if it's a used device, technically it should be sold for less than retail. So yeah, we'll get there one day. I'm just wondering if we'll ever see these in shops or anything like that, but by the looks of it, not anytime soon. We'll have like an OLED version out by then. Ooh, good hit. This one seems to be running better than Ratchet and Clank 2. I mean, it's all environment dependent, but holding a solid 50. Definitely recommend getting PAL versions of these ones. As soon as you set the refresh rate to 50, it feels like a 60 FPS game. I wouldn't worry about it. And the best thing about these is you can change it to 60 Hz in the options anyway. So best of both worlds, really. Guys, I had an absolute nightmare with Vegas Pro yesterday, and yeah, you're asking me why I'm still using Vegas Pro in 2022, but the thing is, like, I've made YouTube videos quite a lot for quite a long time. If you check my channel, I've been active since like 2007 even. It's when I first made my channel. But yeah, I've been posting videos since like 2012, 2010 or something like that. They weren't good videos by any means, but I've been posting since then. But yeah, I've been using Sony Vegas, what used to be Sony Vegas, for a long time. I need to make the transition to Premiere Pro or Final Cut if I ever get a Mac again. But yeah, I mean, like, Sony Vegas was just crashing on me. It took me the whole day to render that file out. It was literally a 1080p, 60 FPS, 13-minute video, and it took me all day to render it because it kept crashing in the middle of every render I did. There was one video clip that I think was messing up the whole project, and it was the part when Skyrim loads on the Switch, and I was going to show you a comparison of loading times, but because that little clip of the Switch Skyrim kept crashing, I had to just cut it out of my whole video. I ended up having to... This is pretty sick. Skydiving part. That's awesome. I ended up having to bloody render it out in 2 different parts and then render the 2 parts together as one video. It was a ball ache. And that is why it came out at 7 PM and not earlier than I expected it to. So, yeah. Don't use Sony Vegas, guys. It's a pain in the ass. But, as you can see, Ratchet and Clank 3 has no issues in this world. I mean, I do want to keep saying that. I want to, like, reiterate, I'm not playing every part of the game, so maybe some worlds will fare better than others, but I'm doing as much as I can. I'm using explosive items, I'm blowing things up in the environment. I mean, it looks pretty playable to me, so this is a really little bonus clip because it's pretty obvious this one's going to be able to run well. This is the ported over version from the PSP. It works great on the PSP, but the graphical differences make it more worthwhile playing it on here. This is the Size Matters game. Yeah, in terms of YouTube videos for the upcoming week, I was thinking about putting together a little list of like what I think should be on the Steam Deck. Kind of like a what we want to see in the future kind of video for like updates and stuff. As far as like the OS goes or just like in-game. I've got a few ideas. I might make a little list and then see what I can talk about for like 10-5 minutes whilst playing some games. I don't know if that sounds good to some of you guys, let me know in the comments, but yeah, that's probably going to be a future video. Just because the device is still relatively new, I mean, we've still got quite a lot of things to come with it. Like I say, I'm excited to see themes and stuff like that. I'm just going to make a general video about like what I want to see on the Steam Deck. And then we can get a little discussion going. If you want to like leave me some comments about some things you want to see on the Steam Deck soon, I can put them in the video as well. And it might just create a bit more awareness for Valve, because I know Valve are absolute legends at listening to customer feedback. So if we can get a little column going about different things we want to see, it might be nice just to have on YouTube. And if Valve ever stumbles across it, then they might get some ideas. But yeah, as you can see, Size Matters. It doesn't feel as smooth as Ratchet and Clank 3. Could be down to the frame pacing, but yeah, it just doesn't feel as smooth. It's running at 8 watt though, so that's a better battery life you're going to be getting. There we go. I'd say the graphics do look a lot better though on the PS2, but if you're not really asked, then play on PSP. You're probably going to get a better battery life from the game. And a better performance in general, really. But I guess then you won't be able to control the camera stick with the right stick, so it's up to you. Do you want us to shoot for our boom? No? Wow, she doesn't have an annoying voice at all. There we go. So, I mean, this was a little bonus game just to show off. I really do want to get onto Ratchet and Clank Gladiator because I know that's the newest title on the PS2 and I just love Ratchet and Clank Gladiator. So, yeah, we'll go on to that now. I'm pretty sure it's called Deadlocked in America or something like that. But yeah. I don't know, is Deadlock better than Gladiator? I think Gladiator is a pretty cool name because it's set in that arena style of game mode. I just love the game. The parts where you get to upgrade your armor and stuff is so cool, and the weapons as well. I mean, weapons upgrading is a pretty generic thing in Ratchet and Clank anyway. But I don't know, it's just the Gladiator theme. I guess back in the day, I really did love like the Gladiator arena. I was playing Shadow of like Rome at the time, and it's just like something about getting pitted against enemies in like a arena style setting is just really cool.
We must calibrate your battlesuit's targeting matrix. First, look over at the hollow target on your left. Turn to face the hollow target on
By the looks of it,
then fire.
it seems to be pretty smooth so far. We mean, keep an eye on the wattage as well. That's going to be spiking up and down depending on what's going on, but it's definitely more ideal than just locking it at a certain TDP for PS2 games. I've realised that now. So when we play PS2 games, probably just set your TDP off and then just let it do its thing. Some games like require a bit more TDP in areas. You don't want it to be spiking and ruining your experience. So best just to let it do its thing. I also found out, I mean, it was kind of like obvious because you don't want to damage the battery or anything, but it has like a pass-through charging ability. So if you leave your deck on charge just whilst you're playing at home, you know, next to a charger, it will only charge it to a certain percentage, and then it will just run it off the, I think it's 90%, and then it'll just run it off the power bank or your charger. So that's really cool. I mean, at least you know you're not going to damage your battery, because the last thing you want to be replacing is the battery on this thing. It's a pain in the ass to get to. I don't know if you've seen it on iFixit's website, but it's literally at the back of the device, all the way at the back near the screen, and you have to like pry it off. It's glued like to the back panel, not the back, like more like the front, but it looks like a pain in the ass to remove. So that's a shame, because I know in the future people are going to want to have their batteries changed, because they just won't be charging to a capacity of like that's worth taking out anymore, you know. Especially since this device is a handheld device, you'd expect the battery to be a bit more easier to take out. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame from Valve, a bit of an oversight. I mean, maybe not an oversight because they've had to fit so much other stuff in, but yeah, maybe the next one will have an easier to take out battery. But it's probably why I'm being pretty cautious about my battery life. I'm trying to charge it between like 10% up to like 80. Apparently that's the best way to do it, but then since I've heard about this pass-through charging, generally just play it on charger when I'm at home, so it's not really a massive deal. As you can see, guys, Deadlock's playing amazing. Feels super responsive.
Check your map. There should be a teleporter nearby. Use the teleporter to meet me back at our dread zone containment area.
I also noticed, I went back on Scarface. I had an issue with the graphics when in the open world. The textures were like bright red, or like there was a massive graphical issue in the overworld, like the free roam area, after the prequel prologue part. And yeah, it somehow fixed itself. I don't know if it's been an update that the PS2 emulator had, but yeah, it works great now. So I'll have to showcase Scarface in a future video. I mean, Scarface was one of my favorite games on PS2, just because of how gory it was and just how like ridiculous it was. I mean, I remember you could go to like a sperm bank and just sell your sperm for money. It was just like over the top stupid. I mean, you can do that in real life, so I guess it's pretty realistic, to be fair, isn't it? But yeah, it was like trying to be like a GTA clone, but it had its own charm and stuff. You had a lot of the drug trading and stuff to do. Damn, I remember this dude. He's the guy who like upgrades your suits and stuff, innit? Mad. But yeah, guys, I remember you get these like 2 robot guys who follow you too. Yeah, these 2. Yeah, nice. Used to be able to, you can upgrade them and stuff. Awesome. Well, that's Ratchet Deadlocked. As you can see, all the Ratchet and Clank games play pretty perfectly on the deck at 50 Hz. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you guys soon.